And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. This is your good friend Jimbo, and we have a co-host here.
That's right. I belong here, you bastard.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, welcome back to the show, Shoulders.
You got it, brother. I'm happy to be here again.
Like I've been telling you guys, just the scheduling thing has just been real tough with me and Shoulders trying between work.
Right.
And, the kid's still doing hockey? Is he?
Yeah, he's doing well.
Doing good. That's good.
Can't complain there. He's,
Is he on pace for Crosby's goals, or is it more Malkin injuries?
No, he's doing well. He scored 1 goal his last game, and just haven't been a lot of games in the beginning yet. So they'll start kicking in with more tournaments, things like that. So
okay. Is he still up at the Icebox where Provorov played?
Right, Wilkes-Barre Junior Knights.
Yeah,
Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Sorry, Scranton.
Even though a couple weeks ago when I texted you about the Flyers game, they talked about Provorov being up there. Never said anything about Scranton. It was always Wilkes-Barre. Like, fuck yeah. Yeah. Fuck Scranton.
Yeah.
Unless we got listeners up there, then we love you.
Yeah. The Electric City.
So yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since Shoulders has been on, and we're actually going to try to do a live video after we're done recording here. Now, we normally have the show drop on Friday mornings, but obviously because of the holidays, which, by the way, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I'm hoping
Happy Turkey Day.
Hope nobody got into a Black Friday fight for Cabbage Patch Kids or whatever the new thing is this year.
Yeah. That's my TV.
Yeah. Or it'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll take 2.
That TV's a tumor.
How about our buddy Juan? His Thanksgiving go good too, or something?
I haven't seen him. He hasn't been around.
I hope he didn't get deported.
I'm sitting right next to you, dick.
Damn.
Oh shit. What's up, buddy?
Nothing, senor. And yes, my Turkey Day was fantastic.
Did you have a lot of Coronas?
Why has it always got to be Corona with you?
Because, I'll be honest, that's the only Mexican beer I know.
I'm not the Mexican, you dick.
Okay, I'm going to get away from this before it gets really bad.
Happy Turkey Day, everybody.
Did you, Juan, get into any Black Friday fights yourself?
Yes, senor.
The way that shiner looks on your face, it looks like you lost.
The bastard bit me for a Lego set. The prick. I was trying to get Juan Jr. the Star Wars set, and he bit me.
Why would anybody want Star Wars? That's stupid.
You shut up! Before I use the Force.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, like I said, we're going to get away from Juan now because he's starting to take over the show, and that will be very bad. But
wait, senor. You afraid of a little culture?
So, anyways.
All right. Get up. Do you want another black eye? Knock it off, you jerk.
So, like I said, there's been a lot of stuff that has happened. And before we jump into the show, head over to Twitter. Follow us there at ST Sports Podcast. Myself at Jimbo ST Sports. Shoulders, do you want to?
Shoulders O'Brien, baby.
Head over to Facebook, like and share our page there. Our YouTube channel is still there. Okay, I'll admit I've been dropping the ball with trying to get the videos up to date, but
right.
I'm hoping with this live video on Sportscaster that we'll be able to have a different style of videos on there, and it'll upload right then and there. So we're going to do a video after we're done recording today, and just head over there, and you could, leave comments or whatever you do. It's all new to us too. So jumping into the show, I want to get Shoulders' opinion on a couple of stories that have happened in the past couple weeks. And I got to ask, because me and him have been totally against Kaepernick definitely coming to Philly, if not just
I don't want him to be in
anywhere.
the NFL at all.
But first off, how did you feel about the NFL? The NFL setting up the workout for Kaepernick.
That's what it should be.
But it wasn't the teams like calling up, hey, so I don't want to bring you in for a workout. It was the NFL that called the NFL teams and said, hey, we're going to have a private workout for Kaepernick. I want all 32 teams there, blah, blah. Do you think that was more of a PR stunt on NFL to...
Oh, probably, most definitely. I mean, I would say, first opinion. But, again, he didn't help himself. So he cancels it, throws a mockery, and makes it all about him again.
Yeah.
So what did we learn? Well, he's the same jackass.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And the fact that before he... And I don't know how much of the story you've seen, but before he canceled the workout, there was 25 teams committed to come to the NFL.
And it ended up showing only to 8, I think it was.
Yeah.
But I do like that one of his receivers got picked up by the Browns.
Oh, did he sign? Because I saw he got
somebody signed. I thought it was the Browns.
Yeah, and so. I saw that. I'm like, and of course all the Kaepernick fanboys or whatever you want to call them. Well, see that? Okay. Well, we went there. Saying, he's still blackballed because how could a no-name receiver get signed by if it was the Browns or whoever it was and not Kaepernick? He's better than. I actually saw one fan say he's better than every starting quarterback in the NFL.
Right. When you take those special smelling mushrooms and you eat them, I don't get it. I mean, I say prove me wrong. But
here's my thing
garbage.
Too, is even his former teammate that's with the 49ers now, I think, or Carolina, Reed.
Mm-hmm. He's with Carolina.
Okay, so he played San Fran.
Well, he's been shutting up. He's been playing and doing his thing.
Yeah, but he
changed his attitude.
He came out and said, that workout showed that he still has the elite arm, blah blah. It was just him and basically playing catch.
Right.
Yes, okay, he threw a 60-yard ball, but he didn't have 4 300-pound guys coming at him.
Right. Here's my thing: we had prolific players such as T.O., Chad Johnson. All these diva receivers and stuff. How many of them went out of the NFL early for stupid antics?
Yeah.
What makes this an overpriced clown any better? Like, they were real talent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Top of their game.
And I've always went back to that. I still believe he was only good because of Harbaugh. He, to me, was a system quarterback. When Harbaugh left, he plummeted with the stats.
Yeah, and he was also playing on a 49ers team that wasn't known for a quarterback that scrambles since young.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden teams weren't game planning for that. And I just don't think he's that great. I don't. I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with my beliefs or anything like that or that he acts like a clown. But if I'm going to go solely on, like, let's pull up T.O., Chad Johnson and them.
Yeah.
Clowns. Pissed me off all the time. But they still can play.
Yeah.
But in today's NFL, it's been proven. When you're a distraction, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Now, the other part, I don't know if you saw this, the commissioner of XFL, see about that side of the story?
No.
He actually wanted to bring Kaepernick in as a PR stunt to say, here's the face of our league or whatever you want to call it. And Vince McMahon, who loves circuses, said, get the hell out of here.
Right.
Because
he knows right now he's banking on trying to do what the NFL can't.
Yeah.
And what's that? Being loyal to their fans when fans can't stand a player, then get rid of him.
Yeah.
He made his own bed. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Keep politics off the platform.
Oh yeah.
It's that simple. And you disgraced the military and everybody else that are big supporters.
Yeah.
Everyday Joes like you and I. Like, what would you expect to happen, Kaepernick? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, you would think he would be smarter to say, okay, like for example, that one incident where he wore the pig socks. Did he really think there wouldn't be any backlash? Like he had
again, a clown is a clown.
Yeah.
If you want a circus, bring them on.
Yeah.
If you want a corporation and you want a team that's there to play, then you go on without them.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you right now, I could think of at least half of the starting quarterbacks I would take over him.
Yeah. Even that quarterback.
I meant half of the backups.
Yeah, even that quarterback. Did you watch the Lions game yesterday?
Yeah, he looked pretty good.
And what did they say? He just signed a couple days earlier, and it was all walked through, so it wasn't even really practice. And he had 2 or 3 touchdowns. Excuse me. The one touchdown to Galladay, the first one,
That was pretty good.
That was nice. I mean, granted, it was a good move on
Again,
Galladay.
I think there's a lot of talent out there. Kaepernick is banking on this bullshit, and he's getting old.
Yeah, and he's already out of the league 3 years. So he's gonna have.
He's not going to be game ready.
No.
I kind of wish they would put him in a game right now, starting against the best defensive line, and watch him get killed.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, as much as Jameis Winston is struggling, I'll take him over him. And I was never a fan.
That's close, but yeah, I may have to agree with you there.
It's that simple. I would take so many backups over Kaepernick. There's some probably. I guarantee there's probably a couple third stringers that I think would be better fit.
Josh McCown or Kaepernick?
McCown, hands down.
And we'll get to Eagle talk later on this show, but I don't know if you've seen after last week's game with Wentz. Yes, I will admit he had a bad game. He's been having a couple bad games. People want Sudfeld or McCown to come in and start now.
It's tough. You got to keep rolling with Wentz,
and he's not going anywhere. He just signed that big contract.
I mean, I like him, but I told you I'd rather have kept Foles.
Yeah, but even that, he's only even coming back from the injury. He still hasn't played that good. Foles has, and
well, I mean, he's coming back out for how long? I mean, he's not doing bad either. He had 2 touchdowns when he came back, or 3 and 1 pick.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep seeing
on a Jaguars team that's struggling without him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying like Minshew or whatever his name is. I don't mind him either, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. The other story that happened 2 Thursdays ago, I believe it was, the whole Myles Garrett brouhaha. Now, me and you always seem to disagree on suspension length and stuff like that. First off, do you think the suspension was fair?
Yes.
And
I think it should be indefinite.
Well, it's indefinite, but he still has to, put the papers in to get reinstated. So they still could say, no, you're not coming back.
Right. What excuse did he have? Then he throws a mockery and says that he said the N-word to him. There's proof he didn't. So now you're fabricating shit, starting civil unrest.
Yep.
And I liked him as a player.
Yeah.
I did. Now I have no respect for him.
And the funny part about bringing it up that he said that, they asked the media asked a couple of the teammates that Garrett said I told, and they said, no, we don't know what he's talking about.
Right, because they know he's lying.
Yeah.
He tried to tried to throw that card out there, and it backfired.
Now,
although I did like the Steelers offensive lineman who looked like he was in the UFC.
Pouncey?
Yeah.
Dude, I know a lot of people he shouldn't have got the 3-game suspension. First off, he should
have got a suspension. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't.
Do I like what he did? Yeah,
without a doubt.
Right.
I even, my sister's a Steelers fan. I texted her. I said, I actually did not like Pouncey at all before this incident because the whole Aaron Hernandez gang signs, all that shit that happened a couple years ago. That you don't need that shit in the NFL.
Right.
But the fact that not only did you stand up for your quarterback, you basically said, I know you're wearing a helmet. I'm going to give you a concussion anyways. Right. I mean, he had a good 3-4 punches that landed.
They look good.
And then he did the Kareem Hunt kick and totally missed.
Let me say, would anybody that thinks the suspension for Myles Garrett shouldn't have happened, if he connected with Rudolph better in the head and his brain swelled and he died, that's a blunt force instrument.
Yeah.
That's no different than me taking a baseball bat and cracking you upside the head.
And that's one of the arguments I keep seeing from the Browns fans is that, well, Rudolph assaulted him too, and assault is assault. No, it's not.
No.
I mean...
That's like saying I slap you in the face and you shoot me in the face with a gun.
I mean, if you watch the video, and the other excuse they're saying is Rudolph kicked Garrett between the legs, and that's what started this whole...
They were on the ground.
Exactly.
And I disagree.
To me, it looks like, honest to God, and I'm not trying to defend Rudolph, it looks like he was trying to get up to get Garrett off him and just, yes, his leg was in between Garrett's legs.
Garrett was mauling him like an idiot. Yeah. Where was all this quarterback protection?
Yeah.
Where you're not supposed to go on top of them and do this, that, and that. Well, he did it all.
And that's...
Now, was Mason right for getting up and start? No.
No.
But I can understand that more than when a helmet comes off, you swing it.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
I saw that they basically said that how much the helmet weighs weighs the same as a brick. And like we said, we just said it.
I think it's harder than a brick. A brick would have cracked before that helmet.
Yeah.
And I'm saying he caught him in the right part of the head. He could have died.
Yeah.
So where do we draw the line?
Exactly.
I have no sympathy for him. I looked at it multiple times to try to find a hook where I can say, do I see why? No, you didn't. There was a guy in between you, and you swung it like a moron.
Yeah.
Good for you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, when's enough's enough?
And I think, how I always bring up about his past should be brought into the decision as well. It wasn't like he's a choir boy this whole season. He's had multiple roughing the passers, fines, and this happens. So I definitely agree with it. Do you think Mason Rudolph should have got a game suspension? I'm pretty sure he got a fine. I think it was like $50,000 or.
I think a fine was appropriate. He was out of line. He really didn't throw any punches, or he tried to get up in his face and yell at him.
Yeah.
Which in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, we see quarterbacks and receivers go at it all the time like that.
So are me and you actually, for once in our life, in agreement that the NFL handled this the right way?
Well, it's about time you see things the right way. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, how can you defend that guy?
Yeah.
I can't. That's just uncalled for and stupid.
Yeah. All right, so that's a little bit of a catching up for the past couple weeks. The other, a little bit of NBA talk here.
So, Jimbo's back out of the box or Scream movie, or did you get Kermit the Frog out of your throat?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
Everybody.
So, yeah, NBA talk.
You reminded me of that movie, Yes or Not Yes Man, with Jim Carrey, where it's like, my little tiny nipples go to France.
That sounds more like Lord of the Rings or something.
My precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a good voice there. I don't know what you did. You must have hit the scream button.
Well, I think what it was, and we'll get back to NBA talk here in a second, but it was this great Miller Lite. Just hit the spot the right way, and it was like a euphoria.
Yeah, it was something. I don't know. You had something in your throat.
So, load management in NBA. First off, I mean, do you think it's going to ruin the NBA?
I mean, it's confusing. To me, if I'm the owner of the team and I want to sit somebody, I'll sit somebody.
Well, and the one stipulation and they're calling it the resting policy, which is freaking stupid. The
Short
NBA
season, then.
and that was the other thing I saw in this article that I was breaking this all down, because this all stems to the.
I'm going to try that at work. I'm going to go in and say, due to load management, I'm going to sit here and do nothing today.
Bring a note from your wife. Here's my coach.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you said about shortening the season. The idea that's out there is going from 82 games to 78. A whopping 4 games.
Right. Well, there you go.
But this whole load management thing, if they're not hurt, they could designate it as load management and they could get rested. They're not allowed to rest high-profile players when it's a nationally televised game, only if it's a home game and broadcasted on the local TV. Let's say, okay, the 76ers. Me and you buy tickets to 76ers. We get down there. I'm a Joel fan. You're a Simmons fan. And
Not Wayne.
Fuck him. And we show up and both guys are sitting because it's not a nationally televised game.
Right. I don't think it's fair. You have work. What's the problem? Did Michael Jordan get rested?
Thank you. I mean,
Magic Johnson?
Dennis Rodman?
I mean, Scottie Pippen?
Luke Walton?
Kobe Bryant?
Kareem? Yeah, I almost pulled it up.
You forgot Mutombo. I mean, he waved that finger a lot. He didn't sprain it.
Yeah, he didn't have to sit down and rest because of it.
I don't get it. I think, again, it's part of our nation. We're like making everything so pussified. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I hate to use that word, but what else can I say?
The one thing I saw was they believe they're doing this because ratings are going down, so they can rest at these locally televised games, save them up for the nationally televised games to get fans back into watching NBA. I think it's just the opposite, like you just said. It's, you get fans showing up, hoping that their favorite player is playing. They're not going to buy tickets anymore.
Here's what they should do, right? Because nobody really wants to watch basketball until it's playoffs, right?
Playoffs.
So what I say is skip the season. Let's just start a tournament.
That's one of the other ideas too.
You're kidding me.
I swear to God. After the show, I'll show you the article I read. There was like 4 or 5 different ideas.
Oh my God.
They want to do, so like I said, about shorten the season. The other one was they want to do a Europe League tournament halfway through the season, which I don't understand how that helps. And then they want to...
Here comes the Fazio. He passes to Ronaldo. What? Who?
And they want... Another idea was they want to restructure the playoff seeding. Basically...
That's what we'll do. When we need to rest our podcast, we'll bring Juan just on and let him do a whole show. Makes no sense.
No, it really doesn't. But...
I don't see where they're coming from with this.
I mean,
what's the complaint? What started all this?
I think with this Kawhi Leonard, or however you say his name is,
Kawhi Leonard,
him. So he got sat for resting, load management, but then he had a hurt knee, so he got designated the wrong way, and then the coach came out and said he was hurt, so they actually got fined for. It's just a big spider web of what the fuck. And
yeah, I mean,
I really think this is definitely going to hurt the NBA. They're slowly dropping out as one of the 4 major sports, I think.
Well, for me, it's every sport's dropping, and it's simple. People are sick of the bullshit, and the new millennial generation and younger, there is nothing like it was back in the day.
Yeah.
You have... all these new apps and stuff where they rather watch each other do weird skits.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that's called, but
TikTok.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
TikTok. But, so, I mean, that's why you're losing it. Or you're making it hard. Why don't you lower the price of the games and have people fill the seats?
Now, I think the NHL, I like what they do. They base it off of, rivalries, records, and throughout the season, the tickets prices fluctuate.
Right.
So obviously, Flyers against Penguins, you're going to pay an arm and a leg. But if you got Penguins playing, the Hershey Bears, they're going to be like $10 a ticket.
Well, they should just lower them and make it more affordable. Make season tickets more affordable and let people go.
Yeah.
And start televising them better.
Yeah. Even
make up your mind. How do you want to make your money?
Yeah.
TV ratings or what? And I'll tell you what, I'm sick of watching sports on TV. You want to know the real truth why I can't even get through games half the time?
The
Too many
commentators.
goddamn commercials.
Yeah. But for me, like I was talking to my dad yesterday about Troy Aikman as a commentator. I can't stand him. It was pretty funny because he was...
You got to sell your brand better.
Yeah.
But for me, it's 4 downs and out, they punt and commercial break.
And even...
they come back, they run one play, it's under review, commercial break.
Yeah. And I know you don't watch... I know you don't watch UFC, but when it's
I watch it when I can. Again, you know what my problem with UFC is? I don't want to pay $100 to watch the fights.
Well, what I was just going to say, though, is when it's UFC, because they're on ESPN now, they have a deal with them. When it's UFC ESPN 3, whatever that...
Yeah, the Ocho. Yeah,
right
on it.
And 7 o'clock start time. The first fight don't start till 7:30.
Right.
They sit up there, and I understand. You got to analyze a little bit, and you got to talk a little bit.
I get it.
But
a little pregame show.
Jump into it.
Right. They should have a pregame show if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Then when the fights come on, the fights come on.
And then commercials in between each rounds. You get 30 seconds to sit down and get your advice from your coaches.
Right.
Me personally, like when they're the pay-per-view, I like when they go into the corner and listen to what the coaches say.
Right.
And stuff like
Again, you're sick of commercials. You want to see what's going on.
Exactly.
Give me a better experience.
Exactly.
Stop being a money-grubbing hog and have all these damn commercials.
Now, one thing that I kind of hope UFC adopts, this other league, it's like kind of like to me, it's like a AAA league. It's called PFL. The refs actually have...
We'll be right back, folks. Does your nose itch? Does your eyelids hurt? Does your teeth hurt? Try ibuprofen. It makes your dick hard. What? Like, now back to the game. All right, we're back to the podcast. So like I was saying, NBA, now from our sponsor. Like,
yeah,
like,
it breaks
fuck!
it up.
Like, I don't have enough time in my life right now to watch shit without commercials.
Yeah.
And you're feeding this garbage down my throat?
Yeah.
And then I just think as a whole world, we're turning into weird people, man.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I mean, that would piss me off. Like, there's some great podcasts I like to listen to, and the more commercials they add, the more I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
why,
I mean?
honestly, with us here, I only really, we only run the One Belly Up ad,
Right.
and I don't want to saturate.
No, like I get a couple.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, as
I get it.
podcasters, if you want to make money, you got to do a little bit.
Right.
But like you said, not every 10 minutes on a hour show.
I mean, think of every sporting event.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
Yeah.
And what people are doing now is going to these other sites where you can live stream stuff, because guess why? Now you're watching the interaction between the coaches and the players in timeouts and not watching a commercial.
Exactly, yeah.
I have a guy that signed in at work. We could put the TV on
Mm-hmm.
and listen to a game if we want to, right? Well, no. He has it on the computer going through some site because it pops up with like this angle, that angle, and another angle.
Okay.
And then also there's not really commercials. It's straight through and you're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think the commercial breaks got to stop. It's my opinion.
Well,
Prove me wrong.
Well, since you brought up about commercial breaks, we're actually going to take a quick break ourselves here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little college football.
Hypocrite.
College football, NFL news, and obviously Eagles news. Some big news coming out today, as right before we came on. So we'll be right back.
No.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your good friend Jimbo from Stay Tuned Sports. Are you looking to get into writing or putting out podcasts to give your hot takes or your opinion about certain subjects of the major sports or even e-gaming? Well, head over to bellyupsports.com and send the guys a message to get some information about how you could join our family. I've been part of the Belly Up Sports family since February, and I'll tell you what, it's a bunch of great guys and gals, help each other all out, and don't judge each other about what we put out there. So if you're interested, head over to bellyupsports.com, send a message to the guys. We're looking for writers, editors, even podcasters. So again, that is bellyupsports.com. Head over there, message them, and even read some of our articles. And we're back after that little quick break there.
I'm Pickle Rick!
I love Rick and Morty. I don't know how many fans out there listen to it, but the whole Rick taking on the world type shit. Oh, that's freaking awesome. And Summer, what was it? Episode 2, I think. No, the first episode. At the very end, Rick and Morty is outside, like, all excited about the season and blah, blah, blah. And Summer came into the thing, and she's like, hell yeah, let's go outside and jerk each other out.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, what?
Wait, what did you say?
Isolate the voice and replay it.
Yeah.
That's just wrong.
That's wrong, Summer. What the hell is wrong with you?
That's a good show. I tell you, I just got into it. I just watched the seasons that are out, and it's different. I mean, at first I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
And you know what? That's how I felt about South Park when it
Right.
first came out, and I got hooked there. So obviously, going into Rick and Morty, that was my thing. Is sick and
Right.
demented, but
I think Rick and Morty should do commentary on sports.
you know what? If they ever contact me, I will let them take over Stay Tuned Sports for an episode.
That'd be awesome.
Be high ratings. So before
Come on, Marty. we gotta go on an adventure. Come on, Marty.
20 minutes, that's it. So before we left for a break, we talked. We said about college football playoffs. Now, again, playoffs. I know you've been busy
Playoffs?
and stuff.
Talking about playoffs.
How much college football were you able to watch this season?
A lot, actually. Yeah, we gained some fans down at Penn State when I went to the Penn State, Michigan. I advertised and wore the shirts, and so any of you fans that joined us from that, thank you very much.
Speaking of shirts, if you go on our Twitter at ST Sports Podcast, click the
No more
link
ads.
on click the link on our page there that's pinned and takes you right to the shirts. So back to your scheduled progress.
Premium cotton blend.
Um,
Are your nipples cold? Do you need something to warm up with? Try a Stay Tuned Sports Podcast t-shirt.
I thought you said no more ads.
It wasn't that. It was a...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Pickle Rick!
So this past Tuesday, obviously the rankings came out again. Ohio State went back up into number 1 spot.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? Over LSU?
Nope.
Why? Let's start with these two teams. Why?
I think LSU is a way better team. I don't think Ohio State's going to win their first playoff game.
Really?
Really.
I mean, me personally, with Ohio State,
they've squeaked by.
not this last game. Last week they won like 56-12 or no. They played Penn State, who was number 9,
Right.
and won 27-17.
Right.
Where LSU was the one that won 56 something against,
LSU beat Alabama.
which that's when they got put up to number 1, and I was okay with that.
So what makes them drop down? What do they do wrong?
Who have they played now?
It doesn't matter.
It should.
They've proven it. They basically played the national championship and won.
At that time, yes.
Right.
So at that time,
So
yes.
until Ohio State plays Alabama and beats them, they shouldn't jump LSU.
But Ohio State has beat more ranked teams.
Right. I could beat number 25th ranked team too.
But they're ranked.
I don't want to hear it.
I mean, LSU, they played like North Carolina. I forget, West Carolina or something like
Right.
that.
So did Alabama and all right. So Ohio State. Who do they really play?
Penn State. They got Michigan tomorrow.
Michigan. Let's see if they win that. I bet they don't.
That one I could see being the upset. You know,
Right.
2 weeks ago.
So you have Michigan and Penn State. Obviously, they have to play them. So
Well,
Penn State dropped off the fucking planet.
Oh yeah, yeah. After they lost, to
Michigan
Ohio State.
hasn't been nobody. So the
Yeah.
other team is who? Michigan State. I don't know. Whoever else is in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
There's the East and the West, and I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand why Clemson keeps getting snubbed. I don't even understand why Alabama's up that high.
Yeah, Alabama.
Georgia belongs there.
And you know what? A lot of people are saying, well, they're a one-loss team, but if you do the eye test, I think they're better than Alabama.
Right.
You know, again, to me, Alabama always plays cupcake teams, or throughout the season. The first time they had any type of ranked team that they played this past year was Texas A&M, late October, I believe, was when they played.
Right.
Ohio State, I mean,
I promise you, Ohio State does not win a national championship.
okay, so Ohio State's 1, LSU's 2, Clemson's 3, Georgia's 4.
Right.
Well, let's just say
I
playoffs
think
start
LSU, Clemson, and Georgia should be 1, 2, 3. And if you want to put Ohio State, go ahead and crown them. They were who we thought they were. Then put them at 4.
See, I still think Clemson should be number 4. I don't think they should be 3.
Why?
I think also that North Carolina,
So what?
game.
So they're defending champions, and that means nothing.
if I'm a voter, no. You're playing this year. You're not playing. If that's the
All
case,
right. So you played all these ranked teams before they were anything, so to speak, and you're crowning Ohio State. They look terrible.
when?
Multiple games.
They've blown out every team they've played.
Okay.
And Chase Young, dude, I'll tell you, if we got draft a linebacker or a defensive end, I'm hoping some way Howie Roseman could.
You think the Ohio State quarterback's good enough to win the national?
No. Defensive player.
Right. I'm asking you right now.
Good enough to put points up, but I think Chase Young and that defense is what's going to win. I'm not saying championship, but I'm going to say win the games to get into the playoffs for them. But you were saying about Penn State, though. I got to make a little bit of a comment about Penn State. Their coach, Franklin, I have so much respect for him with everything that has happened this past year with that the one player, a Penn State alumni,
So Florida Atlantic put 21 points up against him.
Okay.
Atlantic.
How many points did Ohio State score?
45.
Okay.
Florida Atlantic.
They're good.
They beat Miami of Ohio 76-5.
That's a blowout.
Right, Miami of Ohio.
Hey, that's Miami.
I just don't see it, man. I'm sorry.
So
Rutgers put up 21 points on them.
Where would you put Ohio State?
I put them 4.
At 4. So you would still...
Now they beat Michigan, maybe 3. But if all those teams win, how do you put them down? They played a bunch of gimme games. Here's my point, though. They played Maryland. They played...
They were good this year.
Maryland is not good this year. Rutgers, Maryland. Wisconsin's 13 now. Northwestern. Michigan State. Nebraska. Miami, Ohio. They're not even ranked.
Now, but at the time, they were.
Okay. Indiana. If it was basketball, I'd give them credit. Cincinnati.
They're decent.
Okay. And Florida Atlantic.
They're good.
You're gay. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not ready to crown them yet, man.
Okay.
I mean, you have your opinion. I get it, but
Well, I mean, you have till December 8th to crown your champion. That's when the last rankings come out.
right.
Before last week's games, it was LSU, Ohio State, Georgia, and Clemson, I believe. I think that's how they were.
Right.
And then Alabama and Oregon. I was really hoping Oregon got into the playoffs because I really thought that playoff situation there would have been really good.
So here,
really good
Clemson,
games.
They played Auburn,
They're okay.
Louisville,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Again, he's not there this year.
They played Virginia Tech, who's ranked.
They're good.
They played Wake Forest,
Yeah.
right? Georgia Tech, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
They're good this year.
They're okay.
NC State, Florida State,
Okay.
Syracuse.
Next.
I mean, I get it. I just
wonder. Then I
just don't
gotta
see
bring it
that.
up.
How do you jump? Is my point. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
So say like every team has at least half a season of push games.
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand that. And again,
Would I crown them higher if they win the Big Ten championship? Okay,
Okay.
they got to win the Big Ten.
Yeah. Now, and
I
that's
don't
that's
see
the
it.
other thing with the voters. You don't really know what they're putting more emphasis on. Like, are they the stronger schedule, the more they're gonna want to rank a team higher, or the conference strength, stuff like that. I'm just basing off of the eye test. I just don't think Clemson is as good as they were last year. You keep on bringing up about past. Ohio State, just watching them, they just look dominant. LSU, yeah, I mean, I rightfully so believe they
They're
should
an
be top
SEC
2.
team.
I never bought into that shit.
They played Florida. They played Auburn. They played Alabama.
Yeah.
They played Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas A&M. They have Georgia coming up, 1 versus 4.
Okay.
Saturday, 12/7, the 7th of December.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I don't see how you uncrown them.
Oh,
So-
I'm saying that I definitely do think Ohio State and LSU is 1-2. The top 2 teams in the nation. I just think Ohio State, if you're comparing Ohio State playing against LSU, I think Ohio State wins that 9 times out of 10.
Right.
That one time just being a fluke,
Georgia
2-point game.
played Notre Dame. They played Tennessee. They played South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Missouri,
Yeah.
Auburn, Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, and then they're going to play LSU.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to crown Ohio State. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
Are you ready to crown anybody?
No. That's what the playoffs are for.
Playoffs.
But I mean, I just don't see how a team who's undefeated and just because they had a soft game and they had a decent game that you jump them. So why? That's like, well, so Well, here's my point. Would they have gotten jumped if when they? So all right, we said Ohio State's what now?
Ohio State is number 1 and undefeated.
Okay, so when LSU played Alabama that week,
Yeah.
and if Ohio State played Penn State that week,
Yeah.
would you think the win over Penn State's bigger or the winner over Alabama's bigger?
At that time, LSU would be
Right.
the
So
bigger one.
my point is, just because it was the week before, they get jumped. It's fucking asinine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, then Ohio State played, I don't know, fucking NC Central the week before when they played Alabama. That makes no sense.
But
to
that's when LSU bet Bama and LSU was number 1. Again,
right.
That's because
so
of the
again,
team
until you beat them or you beat a top 3 or 4 team.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Now
So all right, LSU beats Georgia. Do you put them back at 1?
LSU. I would.
Georgia's
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, I would say so because
So they beat number 1 Alabama and they beat number 4 Georgia.
Yeah. No, you would have to put LSU number 1 then,
And then Ohio State beats Michigan.
which would
They're
keep them at
10.
2. Which I think would keep them at 2,
Right.
because Michigan is
A lot of people say Bama should still be in the top 4.
with them. I still go back to their schedule. I just don't think they played enough
Right.
good teams.
It's just tough,
You know,
man. I don't like the
is
ranking
why-
shit. I don't.
You know, you rather the old BCS poll thing, the computer generated stuff.
I think it should be like the NFL, based off your record and divisions.
So, let's say LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, all the big schools all have 1 loss, and King's College, the local college here, is undefeated. They should be number 1.
Well, they shouldn't be in the same conference to be in it. That's my point.
Okay, I agree to disagree. But honestly, I like the playoff rankings just because of this. It gives
Something to talk about.
good
That's about it.
arguments without commercial breaks. I had to throw that out
Are
there.
you parched?
Why, yes, I am. Let me have this nice, cold Miller Lite.
Yeah, I like Leinenkugel.
Listen, I'm broke, asshole.
I mean, you asked me, and that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it. I can't reason it. It's just because a week falls here or a week falls there. I can't justify it.
Yeah.
To me, you're still undefeated and you beat more ranked teams. So, all right, it is what it is. I mean, we'll see.
So,
What
do you say? You live to fight another day.
To me, I wish some smaller schools that do go undefeated were able to play a playoff. I think they should expand the playoffs.
I think you're going to see that within the next 2 years.
I hope so.
Because again, so now you got Alabama number 5, and
I wish they do like March Madness. They did it with
like a
football.
bracket.
Yeah.
They threw that idea out there, but they said just scheduling wise, it's almost impossible.
Ah, pish posh. Shorten the season and get rid of some of these fucking Florida Atlantic games. And I like Florida Atlantic, but I'm saying like
I like Cheez-Its, but yeah, Cheez-Its Bowl or Ben Gable.
I don't
Yeah.
like the whole bowls. It's all about money. There it is again.
Yeah, it is.
So, all right. So you fucking you went 5-6 and you're playing in the Detroit Motor Bowl.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's not a bowl. What's a whatever.
So yesterday was Thanksgiving. Obviously, we have some NFL games, and other than the turkey and stuffing, and I know you had work, so I don't know if you had Thanksgiving dinner.
I did. I went in at 6 p.m., so I got to eat beforehand.
Was that as good as the Dallas Cowboys lost?
No, for me, I loved it. I was excited.
I went over to my parents' house for noon, started eating a little bit, came in, watched maybe a half hour or so of the game. Actually, I think it was the first half or so. But to watch Dak Prescott, the better one than wins,
Right.
throw a screen interception to a defensive tackle.
He had a couple picks.
Yeah.
And one erased by a penalty. That shouldn't have been.
Yeah, that's the other thing I kept seeing too was a lot of phantom penalties.
Right.
But Jerry Jones comes out all pissed off, but still says he's sticking with Jason Garrett the rest of the year, which is great news for all us Eagles fans.
They say that, but I doubt it.
That's right. I would not be surprised come Monday.
But is it really Jason Garrett's fault?
I think so. Because to me, it goes back to the old. He lost the locker room. Like the players aren't playing for him; they're just going through the motions.
But then fire them.
I wish it was that easy.
Can mean you go up and show up to work for a month and just go through the motion?
But we also don't have guaranteed money.
Right, we do. I do. I'm under contract.
So then you could do that.
No, I can't. I'd get fucking fired.
But I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago and this is when I think Garrett lost the locker room. Was obviously he's the clapper. All right, 4th down, we're gonna punt. Let's go.
Right.
Well, they were coming off. The offense was coming off the field to go punt, and how he wanted to give high fives to not one player. High fived them, even just to do it to get him out of the way. They all walked right past him and everything like that.
I think that's the whole team's mentality. Period is garbage.
Yeah.
When you have Zeke and you have Dak Prescott and all these other clowns, what do you expect?
Yeah, and even after the game, it was reported that there was fights and yelling going on in the locker room amongst the players. Your favorite player, Michael Bennett, was one of them screaming in there.
Well, there you go. You bring a clown to the circus, and what'd you get?
Yeah. So if the Eagles win Sunday, it makes it a lot easier for us to win the division. Because
right. I love the Eagles to death. You know that, but
yeah.
Let's just face it. Neither team's doing anything this year.
No.
So it doesn't matter. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I don't even care what happens the rest of the season.
But no, you know what? No, I gotta disagree with you there.
Okay.
There's only one way the Eagles will do anything, and I've been saying this for a couple
Brian
weeks.
comes out of retirement.
No. Stop making, and I'm gonna probably blow your mind here because I've been always defending Wentz. Stop making Wentz pass 40 plus times a game. He can't do that.
Right, but he missed wide open passes.
I understand that. You know
I understand having a bad game, but it's not like he's just not the same player.
I also blame the
or is it the play
line.
calling then?
I think it's play.
I know
it's
all around,
play
in my
calling.
opinion, the play calling was terrible this year.
Yeah, because the games that we dominated in, we were 50-50 with run and pass.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, Jordan Howard was out last week. He's most likely out this week.
Again, we signed Jordan Matthews and all these no-name scumbags.
Yeah.
Again. Like, when's that fucking train going to stop running?
Well,
and instead of going out and actually getting somebody in the market.
Yeah, no, I definitely blame Howie Roseman on that.
Alshon Jeffrey's doing dick shit. Deshaun Jackson with his little boo-boo belly. I'm pissed off.
Leave my wide receiver alone, man.
Dude, I like him, but are you fucking kidding me?
And that's the other thing, too, is if we could get to the playoffs, get him back. That's the other part of our passing offense.
Right.
That's missing.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, I get it, man. I'm not saying we're totally out of it. I get there's a shot if we make the playoffs, but
yeah.
Regardless, though, I mean, I don't see them beating these hotter teams.
If we run the ball, I think we have a good chance to.
Now, the last game, our defense played fucking amazing, and we lost because of the offense.
Yeah, actually, the past 2 games, and out of all people, Ronald Darby, he's been playing really well. For as much as I bash him,
well,
I mean,
Mills is back. I'm
Mills
a big fan.
Too. Oh, I've always liked Mills, and I wonder how much the double moves got into his head last year because he was getting burnt left and right.
Right.
But he looks good too, and now we're getting
Mills was a big reason we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Shut down corner.
Yeah.
And then why did we let Patrick Robertson leave then if we had all that chemistry? Yeah. Which comes back to my biggest thing. Any team that wins a Super Bowl should not be able to let all the players go. They should try to have to repeat. There was chemistry there.
Well, but how do you do that if they're free agents? That's what happened to Peterson. He was a free agent.
Don't win the Super Bowl then. Do you want the glory in the Super Bowl? Then you're stuck one more year.
So play back his prior year's salary?
Right. Or whatever the league minimum is or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the league is, for a free agent.
Yeah, like $500,000, whatever. Yeah.
But we got rid of people without free agency too.
Yeah. But also too is the fact that we're still the salary cap is still hurting from asshole Chip Kelly.
Right.
And we're slowly just getting back to it now.
Exactly, and we had a team with chemistry.
Yeah. But that's
and then you keep bringing back players that we got rid of.
Yeah. There's
you brought back Curry. I know he's playing all right, but why did you come back? You brought back Deshaun. I told you at first I was against it. Yeah. He's a good threat and he works, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's old.
No,
you brought back Jordan Matthews
3 times.
For what?
Yeah.
There was other receivers out there, man.
Oh, and I looked at it. At the time of us signing him, you had Crabtree out there. You had
Right.
Pierre Garçon, who could be your deep threat. I've been saying it.
Crabtree could be a deep threat. He's a slot. I would have took him in a heartbeat over Jordan Matthews.
Oh, yeah. With that,
and you would have got him at a steal.
And you know, Jordan's rookie year, I was big on him. I liked him a lot. It's just that
He can't get open.
can't get open. He's old now.
Now, and I understand you're high on Whiteside, and I know you're high. I mean, we had a practice squad player come in and look good.
No, he did. But again, now that go back to, like you just said, the play calling. Was Ward the first read? Whereas JJ may be fourth on the...
Regardless, if you're wide open and you get yourself open, how many times was he running for his life, had nobody open?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man.
And
So if that is the play calling or whatever, and a first read, so you're able to get a practice player catches, put a receiver in there with skill now, right? So we have a receiver like a Des Bryant, or I'm not saying, I'm not a big Des Bryant fan, but John, Ross, whoever, anybody.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? They find ways to get open when it's needed.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
What good is Alshon Jeffrey doing us right now?
Nothing at all.
What good is Deshaun Jackson doing us right now?
Nothing at all.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you want to be positive...
What
then
good is J.J. Whiteside doing?
He did decent last game. He didn't drop any balls. Baby steps.
What baby steps, yeah. I don't want fucking baby. It's the NFL.
Yeah.
He's a bust. You still think we should have took him over Metcalf?
Metcalf hasn't really done that much the past couple weeks. They even stay at that during
He
the
had
Seattle
great
game.
catches. And Russell was throwing to two other guys.
But how can JJ get on the field when Peterson keeps putting Aguilar out there?
Why is that bum on the team?
Exactly. I want him gone.
What has he done for us?
Other than drop balls?
He lost us 4 games this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, shouldn't have came down to that. If he caught them fucking balls, what's our season right now?
Well, I mean, just the Seattle game alone, the catch in the end zone,
There's one, Seattle.
that's one win
Then the one where he dropped down the sideline.
that he just gave up on.
So there's 2.
Yep.
Then there was the game right after that or before it, and another game.
Yeah.
Wins.
No, exactly. That's why I can't believe they're still trotting him out there. And like I said earlier,
Everybody's praising Goddard. I think he's a bust. I'm not a fan.
I am a little disappointed in him this year. I really thought
Even Ertz's production's down.
that I think I blame on that one. I think I should blame Wentz because
There you
last
go.
year, whether he was forcing
Let
it
me
to,
ask you this, too. In the middle of the season, McGowan comes in. When Wentz went out for a series or 2, I think it was Packers.
yeah,
Right? Looked phenomenal.
yeah.
How the fuck can he come in and look good with the same guys?
Because Green Bay wasn't planning for him. They went to basic preseason defense.
I'm just saying there's a lot of talent out there, and they should be making moves for receiver if they want to win this season.
I don't think I think that time has passed. They should have did that at the trade deadline.
Right. But there's still free agents out there.
There is.
What good is any? You just said it. Nothing.
Yeah.
So continue to have Rents run around until he gets hurt again.
Which he is, but he's supposed to be playing. I think he has a bruised finger or whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Load management.
Hockey player gets 16 teeth knocked out, comes back in the game.
Yeah.
NFL player sprains his finger, he's out 6 weeks.
Or NBA guys that just need a rest.
Well, whatever. Yeah, right. I'm sorry.
Some other news about the Eagles. Earlier this week, Jake Elliott, we signed.
Good move.
4-year move. Yeah. I started thinking, obviously, we had Cody Parkey before him.
Look at all the kickers this year that are blowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know Vinatieri's 22,000 season, but he was fucking money.
Yeah. And now he's
that
just...
Wu missed
Yeah.
like 4, 3, something like that.
Bears can't find a kicker to save their lives.
Think of all the kickers.
And we get Elliott, third highest paid kicker now. To me, that's a steal.
Right.
And I don't know if he gave like a hometown discount or something.
I don't know
like
what's up with kickers, man.
I really think it's since they moved the extra point line, I really think that got in their heads mentally. Even though it's only 2-3 yards.
Any of those misses away, it still shouldn't matter if you're missing a fucking 30-yard field goal.
It shouldn't, but I think it does.
That was still automatic. For most teams, the stats, that's why they did that.
Yeah. But I really do think it just messed with their heads. And then right before we came on to record, Lane Johnson It was 4 or 5 years. I think it's through the 2024 season. To me, that's huge.
He's a great player, but he's hurt right now. It didn't help us the last game.
Last game it didn't help us, but he's going to be he's out of the concussion protocol. He's playing this week, which goes back to my.
Why is Vaitai still on the team?
He's another one that should have been traded for a receiver, but Howie Roseman. Yeah, no, guys, I kind of like.
I'm usually very big on Howie and his moves.
Yeah, I think he really dropped the ball this year.
It pissed me off at the deadline. We had a lot of chance.
Yeah.
And look at Daniel Jones with our boy on the Giants.
Tate.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan, but he was a fucking great clutch receiver.
Yeah.
Why did we let him walk? Let Aguilar walk.
Yeah. No, we decided to pick him up. Or pick up the fifth year.
So we bring back Jordan Matthews.
Yeah, it worked.
Oh, yeah, it worked real well. The jock straps never looked wider. I'm just saying, I don't get it. I don't. I'm sorry. A lot of teams have their issues this year.
So we play the Miami Dolphins. Are you worried?
Flipper?
Flipper. Flipper-dee-doo.
No, I feel bad for Miami. A family member of mine loves Miami, and he wants them to tank so they get a better pick.
Well, they ain't getting Tua. Freaking say it. I not to get you back started on the playoff rankings then, but
I think he's bum.
Wait, what?
I think Tua's a bum.
You don't think he's going to be any good in the NFL?
Nope.
I think he's going to be average.
RG3. He's going to get hurt.
Well, yeah. I mean, now with this injury,
that's the only thing I can say about Lamar Jackson is at least he has an arm. He's playing lights out. And I'll tell you right now, I don't see anybody beating.
I was going to say, Baltimore. Would you put him as MVP?
It's tough. I would like to put I would have kept Mahomes there, but he got hurt and he's been out and he hasn't been playing the best. It's just tough though because the Ravens have one of the best overall teams.
Yeah, and to me, there's not a lot of big names. I mean, okay, Mark Ingram.
Right. I'm sick of everybody knocking the 49ers too.
They
destroyed the shit out of the Packers.
I will say this: before the Seattle game, I wasn't believing them. Right. Seattle game, they
lost against Seattle, but that's a divisional opponent. That's like, Philly and the Cowboys when Philly's 11-0 and they lose anyway because it's a divisional game.
But it wasn't like both teams were trying to lose the game,
right?
Like that actually was a good game, and I was like,
now
maybe.
Put that on 49ers home turf.
Probably
they're going to get that, and then they're going to see each other in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then with Green Bay losing to them, I'm starting to believe it now. And I don't think it's the offense. I think that's the defense carrying them. The offense, Garoppolo's good, but I don't think he's great. I don't think he's a top 5
but
quarterback.
He's proficient. I think he's better than Kaepernick.
Well, no, I agree with you.
I mean, Jimmy G, baby. I'm just saying. I mean, the Saints had their moments of looking shit, but they have a chance. I mean, I really think the Ravens are going 100%. I do not think they're gonna. Patriots will beat them again.
No,
they beat the Patriots pretty good.
And I mean, even though we lost to the Patriots, we almost won.
Right, we could have won.
Could have won, yeah.
That was one of the games.
Yeah. So, and we're nowhere near Baltimore's level.
Baltimore would destroy us, right?
Yeah. I mean, pick whichever offense, defense, special teams. They're going to just
any given Sunday, I get it, but
yeah. So I think that's going to be it for this week, though.
No.
Yeah, it was. That was kind of a quick one. It felt quick, but it's not really quick. But
I don't want to go.
Well, like we said, we're going to do.
Did you catch that polo match?
Yeah, that was a hell of a. Wish I knew some terms for polo.
What about some cricket?
But yeah, we're gonna.
How about those Flyers?
They played today, and right before we came down recording, they were up 3-1, which I thought this would be a down game for us.
Right.
I know you don't care.
Pittsburgh has been.
Dude, how about their game the other night?
Right. 8-6.
I mean, I was playing hockey with everybody, and they were complaining.
Seems like they're gelling.
Yeah.
They're going at least to overtime if they lose, but they've been winning a lot in overtime.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's the Flyers. We lead the league in freaking overtimes and shootouts. It's like, dude, freaking win in regulation. I can't stay up till 11:30 at night watching you lose. So, before we go, head over to Twitter. Follow us there at ST Sports Podcast. as well as myself at Jimbo ST Sports.
Shoulders O'Brien, baby.
Like and share our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Head over to Sportscaster. Look up ST Sports. That's our video channel, I guess we call it there.
Baby, come back. I miss everybody. Tell them our ratings are dropping because you want O'Brien.
Hashtag lies. So till next week, this
Peace.
is your good friend Jimbo.
Peace in the Northeast.
Signing out.